Okay guys, so the leg press machine. Great exercise for developing lower body strength, particularly with individuals that don't possess the motor skill to perform a squat under load. Now there's a couple of different variations that you'll see. The one used in the video here is a technogym variation, but there are incline leg press variations and a couple of other ones that you might see in different gyms depending on where you train. The principles using all of them are very similar, so provided you know how to use the equipment itself, the actual movement and the technique employed is exactly the same. So you want to start by placing your feet up on the leg press. Tend to place them in the middle of the pad. The higher your feet are, the more involvement of the hamstring and glute muscles. The lower your feet are, the more restriction in the movement that you'll have from your ankle mobility, but tend to get more loading in the quadriceps in this way. So start by placing your feet in the middle of the machine. Position them between hip to shoulder width apart, or whatever's most comfortable for you. Particularly in the early stages, we tend to go with what feels natural and then start to introduce more subtle nuances to your technique as you become more experienced. You want to position your feet with a slight degree of rotation. Imagine on a clock face between 5 past and 10 past. Start by pressing through the middle of your foot, so keeping the weight primarily to the heel and midfoot, extending the hips, knees and ankles at the same time until just before full extension of the knee. You want to completely avoid full extension just until a couple of degrees before, and all the while maintaining a triple alignment between your ankle, knee and hip. So making sure that your ankle, knee and hip runs in line with one another. Most people present with a little bit of what's known as knee valgus, where the knees cave in slightly initially. So a good cue we tend to use is to press your big toe down and drive your knees out to the side. Once you're in this position, slowly lower yourself down, ensuring that you get complete range of motion. Now, depending on the variation of the machine that you use, you may do an eccentric portion of the lift first, i.e. you'll lower the weight down first, or you'll lift the weight first. Regardless of the method utilized, just focus on prioritizing range of motion and maintaining tension throughout. So if we're using the eccentric machine, which is usually in the incline leg press, focus on lowering the machine as low down as you can possibly go whilst keeping your heels down before pressing back up. In the technogym variation here, all I do is adjust the seats to get my body as close to the machine as I can, again lengthening the range of motion, and then when I press, I'll be coming from a deeper squat position rather than a shorter range of motion.